Now this is not some clickbait thumbnail video that's going to take advantage of what has been quite a horrific event that's occurred in the last week. I simply want to make people more aware of some of the dangers that there are whilst wild camping. Now here in the UK, we don't really have any predators that are going to attack us as humans. We are top of the food chain. We don't have bears, we haven't got wolves, there aren't any poisonous snakes or creatures that are going to kill us in the night. Saying that, however, literally today that I'm filming this, someone found a black adder on Dartmoor. Adders are known to be on Dartmoor. They can bite. They are poisonous, I believe, but not to the extent that some snakes are. But there is a very deadly, silent, not very well known danger that people are unaware of, and this came out in a previous video that I did about a certain piece of equipment, and it sort of highlighted it. But what happened this week has made it even more important. Now, here in the UK, on average, there are 50 deaths per year whilst people are camping due to carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, that's not just all wild campers, that is people wild camping, family camping, motorhomes, caravans. So it is anywhere where you may do some cooking inside or even in a vestibule. And this week there was a really sad news of a couple up in Scotland who went for a wild camp. They were just going out for a nice, peaceful, quiet time together, and they never came back. It was a week before they were found, and it has been shown that it is down to carbon monoxide poisoning. I don't know the full details of what happened, whether that was a leak inside the tent or they were cooking inside the tent, I don't know. But it was down to carbon monoxide poisoning. Now I can pretty much guarantee that anyone watching this now, in your kitchen you've got a carbon monoxide alarm, a smoke alarm, possibly a fire extinguisher or a fire blanket. We take all those precautions inside a house, which is a pretty safe environment, but you all hear about houses getting set on fire or people dying from carbon monoxide poisoning. But people don't think about it when they go camping. And this was highlighted to me a few weeks back when I did not a review, it's to show you something that is available to take out whilst camping that could effectively save your life. I didn't do a test and a review on it because I can't just generate carbon monoxide, but essentially it is a unit that you can hang inside your tent, and it's an alarm that goes off if it detects carbon monoxide. Now there are a lot of comments on that video and people contacting me directly saying, is this a thing? You know, they didn't realize that this could be such a danger in a tent. And obviously, yes, it is, particularly if you're going hot tent. I have a hot tent, I have a stove inside it, and I have wood burning. So there is a good possibility that you could get overcome by carbon monoxide that is coming out from that stove because it is inside the tent, and you may leave it going overnight to keep you warm. But you may not think this would happen just on a normal wild camp, particularly in decent weather, but it did. And it was highlighted this week with the very sad news of the couple that passed away whilst camping up in Scotland. So what I showed in my previous video is this. It's called the Itehill carbon monoxide detector. This also shows the temperature, the humidity within your tent or wherever you are. It gives you lots of different readouts, but this basically has an alarm on it, and if the carbon monoxide is registered on here, it will go off with a screech. So if you are asleep in your tent and maybe you have a canister leak or something happens, I don't know how carbon monoxide can do that if it's not being used or something's being burnt. I'm not an expert on it. What I do know is it's caused a lot of deaths, but if carbon monoxide starts to leak inside your tent, this will pick it up and this will go off and the alarm will wake you up. At least then you can get out of the tent and save your life. Sadly, the couple obviously didn't have one of these. And I feel really it makes me quite emotional to think that if they had seen my video and had gone, that looks like a good idea, and bought this, they could still be alive. And that's really sad. The coincidence of it being literally 2 weeks or so before it happened to them, it could have saved 2 people's lives if they had bought one of these. Now these guys are doing something very close to my heart, and I get a lot of people commenting about, you know, gadgets and gear that I review on my channel and how stupid and useless they are. But you know what? There are times when something like this could mean the difference between life or death. And you know, my thoughts go out to these people because they're doing what I do, they did and what I love. And I've no doubt, you know, they would have had a stunning camp and really enjoyed it, and that night gone to bed and just not woke up. Some say at least they were together, you know, but it's sad. And I feel sad for the family who've lost them over something as possibly silly as not having a carbon monoxide detector. So please, if you don't get this one, go and have a look, find a carbon monoxide detector, alarm, get one and put it in your bag and just stick it up in your tent. Just remember to turn it on every night. This one is fully rechargeable, so it's USB-C, so you haven't got to worry about batteries dying or running out, and you can check it to see what charge is in there as well. But also, say, it gives other information in regards to temperature and humidity, but you know, it could be a lifesaver. So I'm sorry for what is a pretty morose video, but it was just something that I wanted you guys to be aware of, and maybe you have or haven't heard about it on the news. It's been plastered everywhere, but in case you haven't and you may not know, there is something out there that could help, and that's why I wanted to push this video out and tell you that there are gadgets like this that you can get and can save your life. Anyway, sad video, but if you liked it, if you found it helpful, hit a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.